How you guys doing today? And welcome back to Book of February. And today we're gonna talk about the struggles of a Mormon athlete. In 2014, Jabari Parker was an elite athlete. He was an ACC Freshman of the Year and predicted to be drafted by Milwaukee Bucks. At age 19, Jabari Parker had a big dilemma. He was choosing between going to Latter-day Saints mission or going to the NBA. A lot of Mormon athletes were going through the same thing. Either they're choosing between career or their religion. Before Jabari Parker, John Niupalau, a high school stand-up from San Mateo, went through the same thing. He had a grueling decision to make, but in his heart, it was the right thing to do. John Michael Niupalau was born in San Mateo, California on October 27, 1992 to Vinici and Susaya Niupalau. His father, Susaya Niupalau, is a bishop in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Foster City, California. He grew up a follower of God, and part of his fellowship is playing sports with his childhood friends. His first love was actually basketball, but he excelled more in football. At San Mateo High School, he joined the football, basketball, and baseball team. His junior year was a disappointing season. San Mateo Bearcats had 4 wins and 6 losses. John caught only 8 receptions for 148 yards with 0 touchdowns. He played offense and defense as a wide receiver and a cornerback. Bearcats was a heavily rushing team, meaning his opportunity to shine in the offense was minimal. The 2009 season was John's breakout season. The team was still a heavily rushing team led by David Rango with 1,459 yards and George Nafau with 777 yards. Bearcats' rushing play percentage was 78% that season, meaning 398 out of 509 snaps were rushing plays. John led the team in the receiving yards and he had 636 receiving yards with 6 touchdowns. He more than doubled his stats compared to the prior season. John Niupalau had 3 outstanding games. On October 23, 2009, he erupted against Menlo High School. He had 143 yards with 2 touchdowns, but they lost against the Menlo Knights. The final score was 42-34. The second game was against their rival school Burlingame Panthers, also known as Little Big Game. The Bearcats hadn't beat the Panthers since 2003. It was a close game, and the Bearcats were losing by 1 point, and the score was 19-20. With 1 minute left, quarterback Mitch Labby threw a Hail Mary pass to John Niupalau. He caught a 44-yard touchdown with 42 seconds left. The Panthers still had a chance, and John shut that down and made the game-sealing interception against the Panthers. The Bearcats beat the Panthers and the final score was 25-20. He had 142 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. They finished the season with 4 wins and 1 loss in the Ocean Division. San Mateo Bearcats were 1 game away from Central Coast Section Division III championship. They lost against the Terranova Tigers in the semifinals. He had one of his best games of the season with 11 receptions and 151 receiving yards. He became one of the best wide receiver and cornerback in the division. He was named All-League wide receiver and he was also named All-League and All-County cornerback in his last season with the Bearcats. After high school, he joined the College of San Mateo football team. He entered the season as a gray shirt athlete, meaning he had to wait 1 more semester to be part of the team. While waiting for an opportunity to play football, John just turned 19 and he is eligible to be a missionary for Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, or also known as Mormon missionary. Young men between 19 to 25 years old were strongly encouraged to consider a 2-year volunteer mission. In 2011, he supposedly was preparing for the upcoming season, but instead, he took a year off. He was called to serve as a missionary for 2 years. He was assigned in Salt Lake City, Utah, and preached the gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ. John was asked why he chose missionary instead of football, and he said, "Just something I knew I had to do, something I was going to do, and what I can do to show my love to him." Even before joining the team, he knew that he was destined to serve his religion faithfully. He completed his religious work in Salt Lake City, and he eventually moved back to San Mateo. He continued to be a disciple of God while training back in shape. He was out of shape because of the 2 years absence, but he persevered and worked on his craft. He once again joined the San Mateo Bulldogs for 2 seasons. In his sophomore year, he was a phenomenal athlete and was named All-Conference Wide Receiver. His hard work and dedication made him a better athlete. His impressive tenure with San Mateo Bulldogs earned him a scholarship in Eastern Michigan University. He played another 2 years with Eastern Michigan Swoop, and he was a big part of the offense. His biggest contribution was against Old Dominion Big Blue in the Bahamas Bowl. It was a close game, and he scored the last touchdown for the Eastern Michigan. Unfortunately, they lost, and the final score was 24-20. For 2 seasons, he had 55 receptions for 727 receiving yards with 8 touchdowns. He had a decent career in college, but he didn't get offers in the professional level. He was asked if he regret picking missionary over football, and he said,
"Honestly, I've always tried to put church before everything else.
Yeah.
And so I'm always a believer that once I do that, then everything else falls into place. So I can't really think of life without a mission first, without putting God first."
His detour led him to know God more. He was destined to do other things than football. In contrast to John Niupalau, Jabari Parker went to pursue his career and put his missionary duties on hold. For most athletes, the dream is to always make it to the NBA or NFL. For John Niupalau, however, his dream was fully committing to God above all else. He is considered a great disciple in the Mormon community.
You can never regret when you put God first, you know what I mean?
Yeah, true.